Hey guys, we are back this week with another episode of Venture with Joe and Cody. I'm Joe Skipper, owner of Skipper Realty Group, brokered by eXp Realty, and this is Cody Wilhelm with Residential Mortgage. What's up?
Here I am. How are you?
There he is. There he is. Well, we just announced on our live stream the other day that you and I are going to do a buyer's buying in 2026, what that's like, the craziness of this market, what to do as a buyer, what to look for, tips and tricks to buy in this market. I think it's a really good market for buyers personally. I think the sellers are coming out of their haze of the 2.75% rate, the 3% rate. They have to sell, and now they're panicking. And not to say take advantage of that, but I think buyers are in a better position to do that. But I think it's an unpredictable market, and I think Cody and I will hopefully help answer some questions. So be on the lookout for that for our new buying in 2026 webinar. Thinking we're either going to do live or have it somewhat live where people can ask questions. I think that's smart.
Yeah,
but
I
we'll
think
figure
so.
that out.
Make it interactive and
Faux show, man.
applicable to who's in there. I like it.
Yeah, and so this is going to kind of be a random style of podcast. I was just we were talking about it, and I was like, let's talk about some weird real estate laws in the country, and
There's some
just talk
weird
about
ones
it.
out
But
there too.
I also have a home buying quiz that you have to pass 100% because you're a lender and
Ooh.
you're helping home buyers. So
Okay. I
not
like
to
it.
put so much pressure on you, but
Yeah.
there's going to be pressure on you.
It
So
did take me 2 times to pass my mortgage license, so I can't guarantee anything here.
this is either going to be great marketing for you, or you're just going
Yeah.
to be like this. No one wants to work with me anymore.
Yeah,
So
maybe we'll just do another episode.
okay, let's get started. This is kind of crazy, and I apologize to anyone. This is not a kids show necessarily. We try to keep it a little bit PG, but I have not looked at any of these laws. So if there's
Boy,
anything that's inappropriate, I'm sorry. I'm just reading these as like
it's
live.
the internet's
So
fault.
we don't know. So this was broken up into the section of a wait what type laws, like,
Mm,
and this is in your home hood, Waldron Island. Have you heard of it?
no,
Okay,
that
well,
must
this is a
be.
tiny island in the Puget Sound between Washington and Canada, and has a law prohibiting any building from having more than two toilets. The goal is to limit development and conserve the water supply. So
More than
you have a
two
two
toilets.
toilet max.
My goodness,
Yeah. So if you do want more than two toilets, do not go to Waldron Island, Washington.
that
That's
poor
interesting. Is
toilet.
that how many islands are in around Puget Sound? I'm sure a ton,
There's a
right?
lot. Yeah, I've been up to Whidbey Island.
Okay. That
I
sounds
know there's a bunch
familiar.
of little ones. Yeah.
I need to go out there. It's been a long time since we've been to Seattle.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
In
Take
that
the ferry
area.
out
But we've
there.
never been to any of the islands, actually. We've never been on the shuttle or the ferries or anything like
Oh yeah.
that. So
Yeah, a long time ago I had a boss that his the like family house up there and he let us use it one time. It was pretty cool. You just drive
nice.
up on the ferry, take the ferry over to the place and there's not a whole lot to do there, but that's kind of the fun part of it is
Yeah,
like you're just kind of touring the little island and try out the 5 different restaurants that are on the island and
nice.
yeah.
Yeah, that is cool. Maybe we'll have to head up there.
And they
If you
did have
haven't,
more than one
look
toilet.
at, do you see my lighting?
I do.
So
Yes.
it's so frustrating. I know every time it goes. The problem is my little remote control here, its battery's dead. So I can only press
Oh,
the
so it's
manual power thing. And so it can only turn
uh-huh.
it on and off. There's different modes, but it will never be a solid mode. The different modes
Of
are
course.
literally all sorts of funky stuff. So this is the least funky I could do. It's
It's
crazy.
just
But
dance mode.
anyways, yeah, it's in dance mode all the
I
time.
love it.
That's what we need to hype this up. This next one will probably not surprise you at all. And it's a
Okay.
California squatter law. If a squatter occupies a vacant property for 5 years and acts like the owner, paying property taxes, HOA dues, etc., they can actually claim legal ownership.
No
So
way.
again, probably doesn't surprise anyone in
Yeah.
California that you could just live in a random house, and as long as you're paying the taxes. How do you
How do
even pay
they
the taxes? Like, how do you do it? How do you say I'm the
Right.
squatter, I need to pay the HOA dues? Like,
Right.
I don't understand it, but there's
The
lots I don't
HOA's like,
understand
"Wait,
about
hold on."
California.
Yeah. HOA's like, "Wait, back up a second. Now you said that you are squatting there, right? You
Yeah,
realize we have
yeah.
an HOA that's like
They probably
intended
can't
to
even
keep
ask
this
them. They probably can't
probably
even
not.
they can't even ask for follow up.
Yeah. How do
Taxes,
you
they're like, yeah, we're paying on our property. We're paying our property taxes on the on this
Wow.
house that is not ours.
That's across the state?
It just says California.
Okay.
The lighter side of real estate is the website if you want to look into that stuff. So
Wow,
yeah,
that's interesting. Do it for 5 years. That's a commitment.
I
Like you
know
found
that
yourself
is
a nice squat, like
no,
nice
and they
place to
honestly
squat.
like in that case, like if you've stayed there 5 years and done like paid taxes, and no one has come to say, "Hey, that's my house,"
Yes.
like
Yes.
it makes a little bit of sense, like
You're
that you can
free to
just
take
take
this
it
one.
because five
Right?
years is a long time to just be like, maybe in 4 someone's
Yeah.
gonna come and take my house away. Like
Right?
it's so yeah. At least they've committed, So
Yeah. I'm gonna go like look for some remote cabin or something
yeah,
and just see if I can live there for 5
yeah,
years.
that's actually a good idea. Yeah,
Yeah.
but you
Not
got to
that
go
much of a
5 years.
commitment.
That's a long, long time
Yeah.
that no
Hey,
one
honey,
comes
what do you
by
think
to see
about
their
moving?
house. Like,
Yeah. What do you think
like I
about being
completely
squatters?
forgot about my house for 5 years.
Yeah.
Dang it. It's been 5 years
Now
and a
somebody
month,
else is
and
squatting
I
in our
can't get it
house.
back. Yeah. Well, moving on to some fence feuds in Scranton, Pennsylvania. Isn't Scranton the office, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so.
I think I'm ashamed
Dunder
that I'm not
Mifflin.
even confident in that, like, because I watch The Office a lot. But
Yeah.
there are no white picket fences allowed. Dating back to a horse-drawn carriage incident in the late 1800s, fences with sharp points are banned. Any fence in the front yard has to get city council approval.
Really? Wow.
So, yeah,
Are they still doing buggies, horse and buggies over there?
you never know, man.
Maybe that's part of the Amish land.
I'm trying to think of The Office. Did we see any? Did we see any fences in The Office? I don't think we did in any
I don't
residential
remember seeing
offices.
any. Wow.
Okay, we're back to
Okay.
California. The spite fence law. In California, if your neighbor builds a fence over 10 feet high just to annoy you, you can sue them for private nuisance. Oh, so you
I
can't
can
go
only
over 10
imagine
feet.
the battles that would have already taken place if you built a 10-foot fence
I know.
to block your neighbor.
I actually wouldn't be opposed to a 10-foot fence.
I
Like
don't
I
know
don't know
that.
I don't know
Yeah,
why anyone would be upset about a 10-foot
right.
fence. Like
Or
it
they
just
should
gives
just
you
do
more
at least like 8 feet or something. That
yeah,
gives
it just
you
gives you
because
more privacy.
yeah, because there's nothing worse than you're standing there and it's like if you're 10 feet back from the fence, you see the middle of the
Oh
neighbor's
yeah.
yard.
Yeah.
So a little higher fence, I don't think would hurt anybody.
Yeah, and
You
I
still
have
see.
my parents' Arizona place, and granted they have like stucco walls and stuff like as their
Yeah,
fencing. But theirs is, I would say, over 10 feet, and it's nice because you just
really.
you have
Yeah, it's your
complete
own little
privacy.
space.
Yeah,
Huh?
so come on,
Hmm.
California, figure it out.
Yeah. Right.
We're going over to Colorado for two of these ones. Boulder, Colorado, no outdoor upholstered furniture. Your Chase lounge, couch, or padded chair cannot live outside.
Wow, that's
I don't
rough.
even know what or why, but
I'm
and
not
in
gonna lie, I don't feel
Aspen,
like I see a lot of like couches and
no.
recliners outside, but
And I
maybe
don't
I'm not
know
going to
if
the right
anyone,
areas.
yeah, I guess no one. This is like HOA stuff. It sounds like
Yeah.
it says it's the website is Evans Law. I don't know what that is. 7 strange real estate laws in the U.S. In Aspen, Colorado, snowball fights are illegal. You cannot throw snowballs at any person, public property, or private property.
Wow. I'm never going there.
Fun haters.
Jeez, no kidding.
And in a place where you're gonna get snow, but I guess Aspen people probably are
Yeah,
super wealthy and rich and bougie and don't want to get hit by snowballs. So
right. I'm pretty sure that in Dumb and Dumber, there were snowballs thrown when they were in Aspen.
illegally, that is.
Exactly.
Several states restrict DIY homework on Sundays. New Jersey bans outdoor painting and roofing. Schenectady, New York, bans filling nail holes with putty. Hawaii bans leaf blowers, and Santa Fe, New Mexico bans lawnmowers.
Okay, so a lot of those, I guess I could understand. Filling
Yeah.
nail holes with putty, that one,
It's like who gets caught on that? Like,
I know,
and then
right?
gets in trouble. Like I
Like
don't
the other
understand
ones,
that.
they'll make noise, sure. Let's have one day throughout the week of quiet. But nail holes, I don't know. That's an interesting one.
Yeah.
I don't like filling nail holes, so that'll work.
This will be interesting for you. This might change where you invest. But Arkansas and Missouri, no more than 5 women in a single home. So if you were looking to have some ladies in a place in Arkansas or Missouri, then you're out of luck because
Wonder
you
what
can't
year
have.
that law went into place.
It was originally written to discourage brothels, but still technically on the books. So
Wow. What if they're
no more than-
squatters?
keep it to 4. Well, in California, it doesn't matter.
True.
So
Okay.
Kentucky and
good to know.
Mississippi dry counties. You can buy a home in some of these counties, but it's still not legally able to buy alcohol nearby.
Okay.
So, anyways, just some crazy laws for people out there.
Yeah. I want to go back to that
ponder.
Arkansas one really quick. What
I
if you
know.
had 4 daughters and your wife.
That's true. Well,
I
I
guess
would
that would,
report. I would report you, but then
I know
the
you
law
would.
would have to figure it out
And then I'd take you to Aspen and throw snowballs at you.
and build a 10-foot fence, and you
Yeah.
just sue me for a private nuisance. Let's just combine all the laws.
You know, the crazy
Yeah,
part about these is this tells me that there have been enough complaints about these certain
I
things
know.
that these states have made
I
them into
know.
laws. That's wild.
Like some of the old ones I get, the brothel thing, they probably
Sure,
were at a
yeah.
point where they were stopping that. But
Yeah.
yeah, the 10-foot fence, and I get maybe it's obnoxious to have a 10-foot fence, but I'm like,
Right.
yeah, but especially compared to like maybe the other side of the home that doesn't have it.
Sure.
But yeah, it is funny how like, and I think that with most laws or most rules, like when you get a policy book with a company or things like that,
Mm-hmm.
we always like joked in the police world, we're like, they had to write this policy for a reason. Like, and
Right.
it's a ridiculous policy, but someone had to do it to the point where they were like, dude, we might get sued or
Right.
this might be an issue. I'm like, why do we have
Oh,
to
I
have this
know.
rule? Isn't it common sense? It's like, no, it's not
Right.
common sense because someone did it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's crazy.
Yep.
All
We had
policy
that.
books are basically based on people screwing up and doing that thing. So whatever you see in a policy book, someone
Yeah.
has done it at least
Right.
once. So
Yeah. We had something like that happen just recently, not with us personally, but like our church meets at a school
mhm.
because we don't have like a permanent location.
Yeah.
And we were parking behind the school, like people that were helping out. And one of the neighbors apparently reported and said that there was like somebody's car was leaking oil everywhere, and that shouldn't be around kids in the proximity of all that. And so the city got involved and told the school essentially that like we could no longer park there. And I'm like, wait, this was a neighbor?
That's
And I don't
insane.
know. I go back there and I don't see oil spilled. But it's like just those little things. Sometimes it's just like takes one person
I know, to ruin
and then
everything.
it goes to the next and the next. And
Yeah.
it's like, now we have a whole thing. Okay, well,
They ruin
sucks.
everything, honestly.
Yeah, I know.
So it's always a person that, that there's one person that always is the loudest that makes everyone kind of
Yep.
have to follow that rule. So
I know.
I hope I'm not that guy, but as I get older, I do get a little bit more impatient.
The get off my lawn guy.
I don't think I'll be like looking at people's oil dripping to see if that's an issue, but
Right.
who knows? Who knows? I want to keep an open mind about it. So
Sure. Give him some
okay,
kitty litter.
let's go with a little quiz for you. There's 5 questions. You need 100%, and you need to explain yourself. Okay.
Okay. Wow.
True or false? This is easy. 50-50 chance. You need a
Mm.
20% down payment to buy a home. Starting off easy, Cody.
False.
Is it true or is it false?
We're gonna go with false.
Okay, what do you need to buy a home? Tell me.
You can go 0 down. That works for a lot of people. If you don't fit that box, you can do 3% down for conventional, 3.5% down for FHA. Some of the conventional 3% down option is limited to first-time home buyer or an income bracket. So if you don't fit either of those, then your minimum is going to be 5% down. But there's a variety of options for low and 0 down payments. So you're going to get the best payment options and not have mortgage insurance and
Yeah.
and
The more you
when
put down, the
down
better off.
25%.
Yeah, that
But
stuff is good.
as far as a requirement,
yeah.
to my knowledge, no.
What are you the 0%, are those primarily for people that are low income, or is that can anyone get it, or is it what's the kind of general rule with that?
Most of them are income based. Some are a little more flexible than others. Like most states have their own down payment assistance program. So those tend to be a little bit higher if there's another option. Like we have one that we can do in Oregon there's no income limit to it at all. It's a little bit higher of an interest rate, but you don't fall into that bracket. But yeah, most programs for anything that is down payment assistance or rate related where you get some form of discount or grant or anything, it's usually targeted towards like medium and lower income brackets.
Okay.
Yep.
True or false? And this is actually a good one. Getting pre-approved hurts your credit score.
I would say false. Getting pre-approved doesn't, but pulling your credit does. I mean,
So
you
I guess
have
it
to
depends.
do one to do the other, but I think there's a lot of misconceptions around that too. I mean, I've looked it up. I've tried to find like an exact number and I can't seem to find anything that says exactly what the number is, but most everything that I can find says it's anywhere from like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, call it 1 to 5 points, right?
Okay. So not
It's
crazy.
a very minimal impact. And what a lot of people don't know too is when you pull your credit for a mortgage, you have 30 days to where if you're going, hey, I want to shop this around and kind of see, you get a couple different lenders' opinions. Within that 30-day window, your credit is only dinged one time.
Okay,
So
that's
like
cool.
if you're monitoring your credit, you're going to see this company pulled it, this company pulled it, and this company pulled it.
But you only bit dinged for the one.
Yep, but it's only going to be that first one that makes an impact on your scores.
Okay.
I've had some people that are like, yeah, this company pulled my credit and then my scores went down like 60 points and I don't know what happened. And those types of things don't happen just from your score being pulled. It's more than likely
other stuff.
similar timing, a late payment happened or collection hit on there or something happened. But yeah. So have
you ever run into scenarios where they're like on the verge? There's obviously, you guys have these like cutoffs of where you have good credit, average credit, great credit. Have you ever had scenarios where they're on the verge and they're like, dude, if we get this, that 6 points is a big deal? Or is that never a big deal in the sense?
No, it is. It's a big deal. Most people don't know exactly what their scores are.
Okay.
They might have an idea, but if you had Credit Karma or Capital One or some of these other monitoring systems, they give you a projected score. So based on what you have done today, yesterday, whatever it is, they're projecting what your score is going to be when it gets reported to the bureaus, but it's not a true accurate score from what the bureaus say. So most of the time it's like, say 620 was your number. And they're like, yeah, I think my score is right around 620. And we pull it and it's 621. We're going to be like, okay, we need to not do a whole lot here. But I'll usually run a simulator that we have for that type of stuff that says, hey, pay this card down to here, and that's going to increase it by 18 points. So most of the time we would do something like that to help if we needed to, but we have a little bit of a roadmap.
Nice. No, that's a good question, actually.
It is a good one.
Okay, you're under contract. The appraisal comes in $10,000 low. What happens?
Wow. Well, we've got options. Either the seller has to drop the purchase price by $10,000, or the buyer has to increase their down payment by $10,000. However, you can also say, for example, somebody was putting down 20%. Let's say 25%, and the appraisal came in 10,000 lower. Nothing would actually have to change because the buyer's numbers are not impacted. They're still not going to have mortgage insurance. Like nothing's really going to change because they've put so much down. But if you were in a situation where it was zero down or minimum down payment that was applied, now we have this $10,000 gap where we can't, because now our numbers are screwed up a little bit to the point where it's not going to show they're putting 3% down because now our numbers aren't the same. The appraised value and the purchase price aren't the same. So that's when we have to get the seller to drop, the buyer to increase, or maybe split the difference, right? Yeah. Seller comes down $5,000, buyer puts an extra $5,000 down.
Yeah, so that's normally what happens is, because the seller understands now at this point that they got an appraisal at that price. So whether they like it or not, it's what it appraised at. So you could always go off the market or go cancel this contract and be stubborn, but the next person that comes in may have the same issue. Maybe they have more down and it doesn't matter, but you run that risk. So most sellers are like, man, it appraised at this. Let's see what we can do. So
yeah, there's not a whole lot you can really do, as much as it does suck because it's like out of nowhere for nobody's fault. Now we got $10,000 less, but
for sure.
Yeah.
And what's the difference between pre-qual and pre-approval? We've talked about this before on our show. So pre-qual is just a basic me saying, hey, I make this much money. You're like, cool. Like, and this is my debt.
Exactly.
It's very simple. Pre-approval is more of like the in-depth, grab your financials and things like that.
Yep. Reviewing documents, pulling credit, running it through underwriting. That's the official pre-approval. Pre-qual is we're having a conversation. You tell me some stuff. I write it down, do some quick math and say, based on what you told me, this is about what you would qualify for.
Yeah.
So that can be the starting point for a lot of people. Especially if you're not looking for 6 months
just
or
to kind
a year,
of
just kind of like, is this even something that we should be looking at right now? So
for sure.
Yeah.
Your debt to income ratio is 48%. Can you still get a loan?
Yes.
Okay. Tell us just a little bit more about it. I know that gets confusing for most people, including myself, of like the ratios and where you guys kind of find that. Can explain in dumb terms for me.
Yes. So the debt to income, each program has its own guideline, and it's going to tell you what the maximum is. So for conventional loans, 50% maximum debt to income. So Can't really get anything over that. FHA is a little more lenient. They go up to 55%, maybe a little bit more. It's kind of a gray area-ish. But all that to say, so the ultimate deciding factor is when we run it through the automated underwriting system. That's what's ultimately going to tell us whether or not they are approved at that number. I could say, Joe, you're approved at 55% debt to income on an FHA loan. That probably is going to mean that you've got pretty good credit. You've got some reserves. You might be putting down a little bit more than the minimum, and maybe you have a co-borrower on there, like your wife's on there with you. So it shows stability and everything. Versus I could have somebody else buying the same exact property, making the same amount of money. Their credit's a little bit lower and they're putting a little bit less down, and I can't get an approve eligible there.
Okay.
I got you approved at 55. For some reason, I can only get this person approved at 45.
Okay.
Right? So it's a 10% difference. So a lot of it is it's the whole combination of the factors of the loan that are into it, but there's not really one thing that I could pinpoint. I couldn't tell everybody, hey, I can get you approved up to 50, 48, because it just varies. But having two borrowers on the loan application is a big strength, because now that liability is split between two people.
Yeah.
Having reserves, so extra money in the bank, in a 401k and something like that, if we can show that there's 1, 2, maybe 3 months worth of your payment in reserves just tucked away, doesn't even have to be applied to the loan, that is a big strength and compensating factor. Credit scores that are good, that's a good compensating factor. So you start to add all these things on, and you tend to get a higher approval amount versus somebody that doesn't have any of those. They're just, the whole system looks at it as like as great overall profile, so we're going to reduce the amount that they're qualified for safety, really.
I see.
Yeah.
I see. Well, we have questions for me, but I have them in here. So I'm going to cheat and just talk about them.
Do it.
True or false, the listing agent works for the buyers too? Technically, no. The listing agent signed a contract, especially in this NAR lawsuit, that they only sign a contract with the sellers in this case, and what their commission is, their compensation is, whatever that may be. So the listing agent does not work for you. They have some ethical obligations to a buyer that comes in unrepresented, to be honest, to be truthful, to, treat them with respect, blah, blah, blah. But they have a fiduciary duty to only the listing agent. There are ways that you can sign a contract with that listing agent to work for you as well. I don't like it. Lots of agents run their careers off of it, and that's fine, but I don't like it. I think it just kind of puts a bad taste in my own mouth personally, because how do you feel good that you got your seller the most amount of money and the buyer the best deal? So I don't know how to do it. People can say and explain it to me all they want that they do that successfully. That's great, but I personally don't like to do it.
Yeah, makes sense.
We talked a little bit about home inspections yesterday, or not yesterday, last week. Home inspection finds issues, true or false. You must fix everything before closing. So we already talked about lending with Cody, that he actually doesn't care. The appraiser may come in and figure out some stuff that might be for FHA. There might be specific issues that come up that have to be addressed, and even conventional that might need to be addressed. But overall, the items don't need to be fixed. You can negotiate closing costs in order to take care of them once you're closed, and that sort of stuff. So, but yeah, go over with Cody on there's things that your agent should know to talk to the lender, to be like, okay, this is an FHA loan. There's paint chipping off the siding of the house. Those sort of things are just going to have to be addressed. That's what your agent should know, your lender should know. But Cody does not need everything fixed on your house before he lends you money.
Nope. In fact, I don't want to know anything.
Yeah, I know. He's like, do not send it. What does contingent mean on a listing? So contingent, that's a good question. Basically, contingent offers are very common right now, is basically saying, hey, seller, I'm going to buy your house, but I need to sell my house first. That would be you're a contingent buyer, meaning that I will buy your place as long as I can have the proceeds from my sale of my home in order to buy it. So lenders, it's working closely with your lender on this and your agent to kind of put together a good offer, what you need to get out of your home sale in order to purchase the next home. So it's I wouldn't say it's complicated, but it is something that is not, you can't just willy-nilly it, and you have to have an agent and a lender that know what they're doing and know how to walk you through that process, because it is the requirement is that you have the finances from your sale are going to ultimately purchase the house. So you need to know what that is and what you can afford. One tip I will have, and Cody, you can back me up or not, is
Okay.
don't always think that all of the proceeds need to go to the down payment of the next house.
Yeah.
I personally say, like, just keep some money to yourself if you can. Keep some money to yourself. Every new house needs a little bit of paint, a new
Yeah.
couch, new bed, new furniture, whatever. So if you do have proceeds, say $300,000 you get on a sale of a house, Cody only needs, 200 to get you, pre-approved. I'm not saying keep 100,000, but just like think about that. Say, okay, what
Yeah.
can we kind of keep and what can we put down? I don't know. What's your 2 cents on that?
I I agree 100% on that. And the main reason is because if you do need that money, say you put down the full 300, the only way to get that back out is by taking out another loan, either refinancing and doing a cash out or getting a second loan or a HELOC or something. Not to say that those are bad options, but when you want to get that, it might not be the right timing in your life, your financial situation. Maybe you don't qualify to get that second loan. So to me, it does make the most sense. Put it in a higher interest savings account and just let it sit there, but it's there when you need it. And if after time you do realize, hey, we don't need this, we're super rich, then you can plug it away. But yeah, I think so, because there's nothing worse than wanting to do something and you're going, man, we had $300,000 and we couldn't have kept like 20,000 to do this little
to do the
project
new
that we want to
carpet
do.
or
So,
to do
yeah,
the stuff that like now really bugs you, and now you're, like you said, you got to take a HELOC out and then pay that back. And so
right.
just think about it, just something to talk over with your lender and your agent to say, hey, we want to do these remodels once we move out, or once we move in, like what, kind of get a general price and see if that works for the lender to kind of keep some of that proceed.
Yeah. And I feel like contingent offers too, going back on that topic, it seems to fluctuate obviously based on the market and what's going on. There's like windows of time where contingent offers is not more than likely going to get accepted. And then other times where it's like, hey, we'll entertain some contingent offers. Like let's make a deal here. So I think sometimes people look at contingent offers. I know when I'm talking to them, like in the pre-approval side of it, they're like, oh, but nobody's going to take a contingent offer.
I get that
You'd
a
be
lot.
surprised.
I get that a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, I bet.
Don't be intimidated by the contingent offer. It's not a bad thing. There's other ways to make your offer look strong. Also, your agent should be pitching why your house will sell quickly, those sort of things. You've talked that over with your agent. They show that they can sell your home in a certain amount of time. So, but right now in this market, you may lose out on a home, but I've had more contingent offers get accepted than not recently.
Yeah.
So yeah, don't worry about the contingency. Now it's like if you're not contingent, it's like boom, strong offer.
Sure. Yeah, right.
Because there are other contingent offers coming in. Everyone has to buy and sell their home. Generally, people don't have the money to be living inside their home and qualify to cover both mortgages.
Right.
So.
And it's a scary thing too if you're doing that and you're looking at going, okay, well, what if our house doesn't sell for another 2 months and we've already moved into this and now we have 2 payments and
for sure.
It's an intimidating thing, but it's
for sure.
It's a very normal, common thing. So
yeah, I agree. You fall in love with the house, should you tell the listing agent? So as a buying agent, no. As a listing agent, yes, tell me.
Right.
It's a kind of commonsensical question, but I would say that to add to this, or just to put a little twist on this, every home you go into is recording you. Just assume it. Just assume that every home there's rules that are in place that say you're recording or that you're supposed to tell everyone that you're recording inside your house. But we have so much technology and so many cameras everywhere. I tell all buyers, assume you're being recorded. Everything you say, do, everything. So be careful with that because you don't want to walk into a house, for me as a buyer's agent, and say, I love everything about it. I'll do anything to get this house. Yeah. On the flip side, you don't want to be like, this is ugly, this is ugly, this is ugly. And then 2 days later, you're like, actually, we like that house. Can we make an offer? Because now the seller knows that you hate their home and they take that personally. So I've had both scenarios and they're not good. Just assume you're being recorded, especially outside on the front porch. The Ring doorbell will record it. I have client after client after client that is like, no, they're not interested. Or yeah, they're going to make an offer before I even know anything because they've heard it on the Ring doorbell that their clients step outside the house and are like, we love this place. Let's do it. Like, or we hate this house and we are never going to step foot in it again. Right. So just know that you're, first off, don't tell any agents that you love it, any listing agent, but know that you're being recorded in a house. Just assume it. So
just neutral.
Yeah.
Neutral place.
It's very weird. I just had friends and clients. We walked their house and we knew it was being recorded. And it is awkward because you do want to say something, but you just like walk, everyone walks through silent like a library. And then we have to like
Man.
walk around the corner down the street, like behind a tree to make sure that no one's like recording you. But it's like,
Yeah.
it's just the times we live in that you don't want to give away your cards. Like you just don't
Yeah.
want to show people what you have. So
Did they have like multiple cameras in the house?
they had one. So we didn't know about inside. We definitely knew the Ring
Okay.
doorbell outside. So the Ring, I never talk to people right outside the door. It's like, let's go take
Yeah.
a walk, or let's go to the
Sure.
car and I'll call you or whatever. But
You're like a football
this one in
coach where they're like,
particular had like a camera up in the corner. Yeah, I know. It's like the major league.
yeah.
But yeah, this one in particular had a camera inside the house. So it was like, okay,
Okay.
that we can see it. And so we're like, okay, let's just walk through. And this everyone walks through quietly and
Like
doesn't
everybody's
say
waving
anything.
at it.
And like,
Hey!
and then we just go out. And they're like, we don't like it. It's like, okay, well, cool.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, that's a good one.
That
Okay,
is a good
you waive inspection to win a bidding war. Good or a bad idea? I think we talked about this
Ooh.
in inspections. I think it's a
Yeah.
terrible idea.
Yeah. You're that to me screams you're going to be frustrated in about a year or two and want
Yeah.
to sell again.
I think that you, like someone like you or someone that is savvy enough to take on, or can one, view the property and know more or less. Like I've had
Sure.
people that are like contractors that look under the crawl space, like during a home showing,
Uh-huh.
and are like, okay, that's fine. So I would say that it depends on your qualification level. If you are someone, maybe you're a home inspector buying, maybe you can
Yeah.
do your own little thing where you walk through. There are scenarios, but I just, generally speaking, it's not a good idea. I don't know.
Yeah.
Your thoughts? Because you're
I'm with
savvy
ya.
with home stuff. Like even you would probably get one.
Yeah. I would still like we've gotten inspections on our houses that we've bought, and it's partially because they're looking at things so differently than I am. I'm looking at stuff that's like, okay, how can we remodel this and make
Yeah.
this look nicer, kind of flow a little bit better?
For sure.
They're looking at like the bones of everything. So to me, sure, if I saw something and knew it was an issue, great, but I'm not up there inspecting what the roof is going to look like, and
For sure.
the bathroom vents through the attic, and is there mold or anything. Yeah. So I would not do it, but that's just
Yeah.
me.
In the COVID times, you had to,
Yeah.
in some cases, because you can only go up so much money.
I know, right?
But even then, I was like, you just, unless this is like your passion of a home, like you're going to live,
Mhm.
you're just like, this is the dream house. It's like,
Yeah.
there'll be another one that comes up. So,
Yeah. That's a good one though, because in those crazy markets, that time
Mhm.
does that you have such a small amount of time to make a decision, and
Yeah.
emotions set in, and
yep.
especially if you're buying it by yourself, maybe that's a little bit different, but if you've got a spouse and kids and people that are looking at like, this is the greatest house, we want this, and you're like,
I know.
okay, I can't let them
I
down.
know. That is hard.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that finishes our topics up.
I think we passed, both of us.
I think we did. Yeah, I think we did. I had the answer key, so
Okay.
I tried
So
not to
good.
cheat.
We can keep doing it.
The Masters is coming up random. So by the time this posts, the Masters will be on Friday, or will be a day into the Masters. So
Yeah.
who do you have winning?
I'm going to go with Xander.
Okay. I think
Yeah.
he's a popular choice.
He's always just
Do you
steady.
think, is it back to back with Rory if he gets one?
Yeah.
I kind of want Rory, but maybe I have a bias towards his name for my son.
Sure. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, I think
would too.
I don't know. Like there's all these things on X that are talking about, like all these people say every winner has done XYZ, like been the top 30 of greens and regulation or whatever, and it kind
Sure.
of narrows it down. But I think Xander's been in there. I think the top 5 that have had all the stats that say of what a Masters champion has had.
Uh-huh.
I think it's Rahm, Rory, Xander, Scheffler, so a couple others, but
Yeah.
yeah, we'll see. It'll be fun
Yeah, I saw
times.
that-
This is like the one tournament I kind of like want to get into, like Thursday,
Totally.
from Thursday on, just to kind of be
Yeah.
a part of it. So, yeah, it'll be
I
fun.
know. Well, there's so many golf tournaments. It's kind of like baseball, where it's just every weekend there's
Yeah,
golf
for sure.
tournaments, and so it's like the big ones, the big championships,
Yeah,
the majors. Those are always fun to
Yeah, for
track.
sure.
And I did see that John Rahm, he hasn't really. I mean, I don't really watch any of the live golf stuff, but I think he's like the second or third favorite to win
Okay.
it. But
yeah,
I don't know. I feel like the last few tournaments that I've seen him in
hasn't been doing well.
hasn't really done. Yeah, not the Rahm of a couple years ago that
Yeah,
was
yeah.
lighting it up.
I always like watching Bryson, but I don't know how he's gonna do.
I know.
there, but
I've done a complete 180 on him
Really?
because at first, like, I liked him for a little bit when he
Yeah.
first got on, and then I didn't like him for a while, and now I'm back to liking him.
Back to liking him. Yeah.
Yeah. He's just,
Yeah.
I don't know. At first it was like kind of weird. Ego felt I didn't really know how to take him. And then the more
Yeah.
stuff I've seen on him, I think he's just kind of like a golf nerd, and
Yeah.
I don't know. He seems like a pretty normal guy. So
And I think that's like the benefit of things like social media and YouTube, because I
yeah.
think I was the same. Like, you get to know someone a lot better. Like, and so all his YouTube stuff and stuff, it's kind of interesting and fun, and you kind of get to know him.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Okie doke. Well, that's what we got on the agenda this weekend for that.
Love
But
it.
until next time, man, it was good talking to you. If I could talk, good talking to you.
Funny time to say that.
Yeah, exactly. Odd. Okay. Well, we'll chat with you next time, man.
All right, man. Sounds good. See ya.
Okay, see ya.